You're listening to The Alex Jones Show.
Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
Welcome back to the Alex Jones Show. This is Monday, April 20th, 2015. I'm David Knight, your host today, and joining me right now is Jakari Jackson, and we were just looking at the footage. This is a new article that went up on Infowars.com. It's been picked up by the Drudge Report. Armed National Guard troops conduct exercise near a children's playground. There you go, right next to a public park. And we had a listener send this in to us, and we were just looking at this. We could see the people walking next to the park, fully armed, a large number of
a very large
troops.
crowd.
Yeah, let's go back to that clip. I wanted to see what was happening beyond that. Of course, as we go to that clip, it was last week, as Watson points out in the article, that in Ontario, California, there were National Guard troops that were marching down a residential street while chanting military cadence and performing traffic control drills. This is all an effort to get the troops accustomed to operating in America, as well as getting the American citizens accustomed to living in a militarized police state. Make no doubt about it. It was about a year ago that Joe Biggs and I went through AP Hill. And again, in that fort, within that, there was another area that had a separate area that was walled in and fenced in to train troops, to train police, to act as military in American cities. It was a replica of an American city.
And when you say American city, there are signs in English, there's a subway system.
We stood at the corner of First and Main.
Yeah.
Okay, and there were traffic lights that were operating as we were standing there. And, I mean, it was like being in one of these end-of-the-world movies, you know, where everybody has died and it's a vacant city. It was pretty eerie. And that's what they're training for. They've been training for these scenarios in these separate areas within forts, a double-protected area, for quite some time. Now they're moving out of the forts and they're training out into the actual cities where we've got. Let's go back to this video that we had, and you can see these troops walking right down the edge of the playground with their arms. People say that they're concerned about citizens having open carry. We have to have.
Now for Alex Jones, not real big for him. You'll be on his channel this week.
That's right.
I guarantee you.
The guy who's saying that, if you didn't hear that, he says.
Look him up.
Alex Jones, okay.
Infowars.com.
Infowars, okay. Cool. Thank you.
Which regiment are you guys with? Who are you with?
116.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
U.S. Army?
National Guard, sir.
National Guard, okay.
So he's taking pictures of them, and he tells them, smile for Alex Jones, you're going to be on, I guarantee you. And I said, what website? It says Infowars.com. Of course, they'll have to look at that on their own computers because they
banned in a lot of military bases.
Yeah, they ban it, the military, the Department of Defense.
And, you know, when we look at these drills, David, you train in a terrain that you're planning to deploy to, you're planning to be active to.
Yes.
So when we see these drills, you know, whether it's there, whether we see the drills in Miami, Florida, whether we see the drills in downtown San Diego, California, what cave in Afghanistan looks like Miami, Florida?
Yeah.
You know, what do these guys train? And that's the question that we keep asking that nobody really wants to answer. Well, they're just training. They're training for what? What foreign desert looks like San Diego, California? You know,
and as you see what they did in Florida, this most recent one, it just happened a couple of weeks ago, they're going in to extract people who are enemies of the state. Okay, they have civilians marching in lines. They put them into white vans. They drive them off. That's what they've been saying that they're doing in their training scenarios. And I have to say, when they had massive exercises right at the border of Russia, and you had a reporter talking to Putin, and he says, you know, why do they have troops training here? And he goes, well, those aren't directed to you. They're just a training exercise. And he laughed at the guy for about 15 seconds. It's absurd. It is a laughable notion. As you pointed out, Jakari, they train as they're going to fight. They train where they're going to fight and the means that they're going to fight, and that's what we can see. It matches their scenario. How many more times Do we have to connect the dots for people? I don't know. Thanks for joining us, Jakari.
Thank you, David.
Stay with us. We're going to be right back with some more breaking news.
I was born on the prairies where the wind blew free, and there was nothing to break the light of the sun. I was born where there were no enclosures. Geronimo. I wonder what he thinks of the permanent checkpoints, where you're quizzed about your citizenship, about having to submit to bag searches to ride public transportation, his thoughts on nonviolent offenders rotting away in prisons. They say that in these current times we are more, quote, civilized, but are we really more free? When the Persian army demanded King Leonidas and his Spartans surrender their arms, the outnumbered king shouted Molon Labe, or come and take them. Even though Leonidas was eventually defeated by a much larger adversary, he is not remembered for his loss. He lives in history as a beacon of defiance and self-defense. The desire to disarm the people is nothing new. Arm yourself with knowledge at Infowars.com, PrisonPlanet.tv, and the Alex Jones channel on YouTube.
Used since before the days of the Roman Empire to support the body's natural systems. Introducing the new InfoWarsLife.com oil of oregano formulation. We have now procured the most high quality and potent forms of oregano oil on the market. Extracted directly from the wild herb and sealed in easy-to-use capsules. You will no longer need to endure the burning of liquid oregano on the tongue. Now available in our limited first run at InfoWarsLife.com. That's InfoWarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139. Alex Jones here. For the last 2 years, I've been working with top doctors, nutritionists, and chemists to design a nutraceutical formulation that has truly life-changing health benefits. Introducing the all-new Ancient Defense Herbal Immunity Blend. Experience the benefits of combining over 14 ancient herbs and extracts with exciting new advances in nutraceutical science. Visit InfoWarsLife.com or call 1-888-253-3139. That's InfoWarsLife.com.
I want more candy. I want more video games. Mine.
And it's that type of behavior that spurred me to do the research to develop a true nutraceutical formula that was designed to smooth out and help children focus. All of our children are hit with modern mind control. Television, music, fast food, GMOs, sugars, you name it. Young humans have not yet developed their nervous system and are being hammered daily by globalist concoctions. It's no wonder they can't focus and calm down and then are put on dangerous psychotropic drugs. Working with my team, we set out to find the best formula with the highest quality ingredients that children would actually like and take. We worked with the leading manufacturer in nutritional supplements that are safe for children to bring you the most affordable and powerful calming formula out there. Introducing Child Ease with herbs and calming extracts like chamomile and lemon balm and essential nutrients that taste great. Obtain your Child Ease today at InfoWarsLife.com. That's Child Ease exclusively at InfoWarsLife.com.
He's the T-Rex of political talk. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
Welcome back to the Alex Jones Show on this Monday, April 20th, 2015. I'm David Knight. We'll be joined by Leanne McAdoo at the bottom of the hour. I wanted to go back to the fast track. And again, as I pointed out in the last hour, last week on Wednesday, we had an agreement between Republicans and Democrats in the Senate and in the House to fast track. I know that sounds confusing, but what they're going to do is they're going to take this fast-tracked authority, which allows them to negotiate this in secret with corporate lobbyists, as they've been doing now for several years. They're about to run this up for a vote. It's just going to be a mere formality because we know this is going to go through. There's not going to be any opportunity for the public to take a look at this. There will be no amendments allowed in this fast-track procedure. It's going to be kind of a straight up and down. And, of course, this is something, as I pointed out, that is bipartisan. NAFTA was run through by Clinton and by Bush. Both of them would have passed the NAFTA. And both parties, the leadership of both parties, are solidly behind this secret corporate trade agreement. It's not good economic policy, I don't believe. It is not free trade by any means. It is no more free trade than the corporate bailout of the banks was a free market exercise. No, it is crony capitalism. It is rule by the very largest corporations on the planet. It is a stepping stone to global governance by these multinational corporations. And I want to play for you what Obama just said, because it is essentially a fight that is going on within the Democrat Party. The Republicans seem to be pretty much solidly behind it, but the Democrats are still having a problem with this. But here's what Obama said to assure people about this process.
It is entirely understandable that there is some skepticism around trade from working families who live in a town that saw manufacturing collapse and jobs being outsourced. People recognize that there have been circumstances in the past in which trade may have contributed to aggregate growth of the global economy or even the U.S. economy, but hurt workers.
Okay, let's stop it right there. That's essentially the position of many in the Democrat Party. And understand that it is not just about a loss of jobs. It's not just about a loss of high-paying jobs. We were told by Clinton that we were going to get 200,000 new jobs in America after NAFTA passed within 2 years. What we've seen, on the other hand, is 700,000 jobs lost, 61% of those high-paying manufacturing jobs that have gone to other countries. So it hasn't really worked out too well. Not on the income side, not on the job side, and not on the wealth side. You need to understand that not only are we losing our income, but we are losing our wealth. We're losing what we had in this country. We are going into debt at a rapid rate. If you go back and you look at the trade deficits that we had, immediately after NAFTA passed, we had the largest trade deficit we'd ever had of it was over $130 billion, and we have never had a smaller trade deficit than that since it passed. And the last 14 years, we have had 14 record years of trade deficit. So it's been devastating economically. It's devastated our jobs, it's devastated our income, it's devastated our wealth, it's made us indebted to other countries, predominantly, though, to banks. But it also has a sovereignty issue side to it. Let's play this clip from Senator Brown, who was one of the Democrats complaining about the fact that this is being done in secret. And this was in the discussions leading up to fast-tracking the whole fast-track process last week.
My question is this to the ambassador. I can't speak for everyone else on this committee, but from my own experience, USTR's consultations with Congress have been, I hesitate to use this adverb, but I will, pathetically inadequate.
That's the U.S. Trade Representative.
We asked for data showing the utilization rate of the Korean FTA since it's gone into effect. We've got nothing from USTR. We asked for information used to justify the auto rules of origin proposal the U.S. tabled in TPP. USTR gave us nothing. I might add that's where you're able to say, or maybe you aren't, that you actually did renegotiate the North American Free Trade Agreement. We asked for analysis comparing the NAFTA auto rules of origin to the TPP auto rules of origin proposals. USTR said they did not have it. USTR did say they'd provide information from customs and academic studies that were used to develop the auto rules of origin.
Okay, so that's getting pretty technical.
Mr. Ambassador,
let's just suffice to say, do you get the idea that he's asking the USTR, the U.S. Trade Representative, for information, and the U.S. Trade Representative is basically stonewalling him on it? In other words, they're not getting any information. Now, what passed last Wednesday, they say, it would give Congress the power to vote on this deal, and just the Trans-Pacific Partnership alone is going to have it's 12 nations that are going to be involved in it. It's about 40% of the world's trade. So once it's completed, it would deny lawmakers a chance to amend what would be the largest trade deal since NAFTA in 1994, which Bill Clinton pushed through Congress, despite opposition from labor and other Democrat constituencies. See, that's just it. It wasn't that somehow this went wrong. It wasn't that somehow this was going to be a good deal for us and create jobs. They knew from the beginning that it wasn't going to do that. They lied to us. NAFTA did exactly what the bankers and the multinational corporations wanted it to do. It provided them with cheap labor. It exported manufacturing from our area, just as Ross Perot said, that giant sucking sound. We need to understand that it did precisely what it was intended to do. So many times we look at schools that are failing and we think, oh, it's just not working, or the border is open. I just don't, why can't government get it right? You have to understand the schools and the borders are doing exactly what they wanted them to do. They just lied to you about the purpose. They are doing precisely what they were designed to do. And NAFTA did precisely what it was designed to do. Remember, it was Petraeus that said just a few months ago, what